there everyone, and welcome back to Napoleon Total War with the Great War mod. Today we've got a special episode which we might call Fighting the Communists, because there's a communist rebellion going on in the Balkans, and first off we've got these two units that are trying to hold them at this river crossing. There's quite a few of them, probably not going to hold them. And then, most likely, the main army of the communist rebels are going to strike Belgrade. So let's see how well I can hold off the enemy here at the river crossing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send this one up, and I'm going to have it hidden in the forest. And then as the enemy gets close, we're going to open fire. The general is gonna be right where he is. You know what? No, he's gonna be slightly on an angle. And as the enemy comes closer, we will open fire upon them. And then once this is done, I will probably immediately cut over into the... Oh! We've got enemy cavalry. Run to your positions and open fire. We don't want the communist rebels to get across. Hurry! Get into position. God damn it. My plan was too clever for my own good. There we go. Now they've opened fire into the cavalry. They don't look like communists. I imagine they're just... Well, they're Balkan rebels, but they've got the red flag.
Sir,
so I
our
imagine
general is under attack.
They are Balkan rebels, but it's communist Balkan rebels. And right now we're cutting down tons of their cavalry, trying to cross the river right here. And behind them we've got more infantry trying to get across. Right now they're firing at us. So my plan's not really working, because my plan was to hopefully lure the enemy close enough that I could, and then when they were actually about to cross, then is when I would sort of open the taps and we would slay them with murderous fire as they were crossing. Right now we are actually being able to send off the cavalry, and once this unit is killed off, we're gonna focus in on the enemy general's unit. Probably gonna do that already, actually. So if we can kill him, the general, I say, we'll call him the commissar. So once we kill the commissar, that might be enough to send the others packing, and that will definitely reduce the pressure the communist rebellion can push towards Belgrade. So there we go, enemy general has been slain, and kind of had a completely different result, because as we can see here, the rebels are now pushing forwards. Looks like they might be going for a bayonet attack or something. They're all trying to cross at the same time. Oh yes, it is a bayonet charge. We'll hold our fire for a bit until they get into the water. You know what, let them get a bit closer. Now, open fire. Maybe I waited too long to actually open fire. Although we can kind of see that they are winded. They're winded and concerned about the casualties they're taking. The first one is almost breaking, he's wavering. Come on, keep pushing fire into them. And hold the line, goddammit you. Come on, keep up the fire. Damn, don't reorganize now. Keep up the fire. Oh, damn it. They're going into bayonet attack now, both units. Well, at least we pushed this one away. And this one as well, actually. Fire at the enemy. Fire at the backs. Reorganize and open fire. The enemy is moving in thick columns. We can shoot them down. Come on, open fire then. Get going. Do it, do it, do it, do it. Quickly. You need to support the other unit. It's down to less than 70 men. General unit is pouring fire into these men. There's not a lot of guys left on that side. I mean, if we only can get a little bit more of them to rout, I think we can get the entire army to fall back. Keep up the fire though, keep up the fire.
Our men are running, sir.
Shit, the second unit has fallen. It's only the general's unit left. And now they're stuck in melee fight. There's still two. No! The general, the captain of the 134th Regiment was slain. And so we can see a lot of his troops are being slain as well. Oh, they managed to push that unit off. Hurry, open fire before they reach us. No, we're not able. And a few hundred. Shit, 500 versus 120 Russians. This is not gonna work. Who is firing, by the way? I can hear random shots firing. Oh, these guys. So some are actually being able to fire into among the communists.
Our men are running, sir.
But unfortunately the communists were firing back as well. And we were forced to give up the river crossing. Valiant defeats. That, well, looking at the bodies here on the left, we can clearly say that the communist rebellion lost a lot of men. And yeah, so did we as well, because there's only about 100 men left of the 800 that we first started off with, but I think the enemy lost more. Anyways, let's go on then and defend Belgrade from the main communist onslaught. We have arrived at the battlefield. The city of Belgrade is over there, defended by my troops, artillery and so forth, general's headquarters, troops all around, and yes, we've got the infiltrators there. Hopefully I can keep them hidden and then I'll let them strike at a opportune moment. Anyways, let's go ahead and start this. First off, the light infantry will advance. They will move forwards, and then these guys will set up around this very interesting fort-like looking building. I've never seen this building before. Oh, first thing that happens, communist leader gets blown to pieces by our artillery. We've got a pretty strong point here with the artillery and old rifle companies behind these covers. The light infantry is moving out of town and should set up in front and then move towards the enemy. And then if the enemy decides that they want to attack over here on my very left flank, we've got a very interesting looking building with basically troops everywhere in every little corner. I wouldn't want to be a guy standing on this little ledge. it doesn't really provide any cover, and it seems kind of precarious to stand there, like the thing is gonna collapse. Possibly, probably better is to stand down here. Right, the enemy force has been spotted. Let's tell everyone to run into position. Oh, is it the Brusilov Grenadiers? They will slowly advance. Now the communists, they actually torched the factory here in the Balkans, and so I imagine they weren't actually able to acquire any artillery. Let's tell the Brusilovs to set up right there, and if an enemy pops up, shoot him. Artillery. Oh, with the Commissar gone, and with the amount of fire we're laying down, I don't think I've ever seen any units so far in this mod that has been this easy to dispel on the field of battle. That means that we probably could fit a third battle into this video, which will then be the Battle of Athens, because I've been able to lay siege to that. One note that I should, or something I should probably have told you maybe earlier in the video, is that the holy shit, the entire army is just collapsing. The rebels, the Ottoman rebels, were actually successful, and they have taken control over Constantinople. Luckily, though, I've managed to get the Romanians to come in, and the Romanians are right now sieging Constantinople, and so we will see the creation of a greater Romanian state. Hopefully, they will be able to conquer Constantinople on their own. I've got an army ready at the border in case that they would need assistance. Kaboom! Yeah, these guys don't stand a chance. They're getting absolutely shot to pieces. I'm not sure, maybe it's the fact, I think it's the sub-mod, what's it called? The Brands sub-mod. It might not be affecting the morale of these rebels, and that's why they're breaking so easily compared with other units, which don't break at all. The thing why I was unable to hold on to Constantinople was the fact that the Ottomans sent in a large amount of elite units, guard units, and I had to basically shoot them down to every last man, and we ran out of bullets eventually, and the Ottomans still had a lot of soldiers left, and yeah, then they went in with the bayonet and forced us away. So it was a very bloody fight, and it was a very long fight because we fought so long that we ran out of bullets, and yeah, we had to shoot down the Ottoman units until the very last man. As we've seen before, quite a few units that we have had to shoot down until there are less than 10 men left, and they still persist and they keep fighting. These guys not going to fight for very much longer. There we go. The communist army in the Balkans have been defeated. But could this show that something is awry? Something has gone amiss within the Russian Empire? Oh yeah, one other thing that I forgot that's kind of important is that I was able to set up a ceasefire treaty with the Austrians and the Germans. The one with the Austrians didn't hold for very long, so I'm once again advancing into Hungary. And we're also coming in from the north, sort of going from Silesia and down towards Vienna with 2 armies. But the ceasefire with Germany has held. Not entirely sure how many more turns it will hold for, but probably not that long. One other thing that I also did was that I got Sweden to embargo the Austro-Hungarians, and that opened up a slot for me to start to trade with them. And so I set up trade with the Swedish, and not only that, I made them, we signed an agreement to be allies as well, so that's very good. And I've been upgrading quite a few technologies, so hopefully we're gonna see some more, maybe some submachine guns in the future. Some new artillery has already been unlocked in some of my factories, so we'll see about that. And as I signed the ceasefire agreement with Germany, all their armies concentrated in those few forward provinces they have left at the front. So there's like, I don't know, 10 full stacks of German armies, so I'm not entirely sure how to tackle them. So far the ceasefire is still holding on, which is good, but I'm not entirely sure how I'm gonna be able to even try to start to attack them with the armies I have. Anyways, let's go over to our assault on Athens. And so here we are at the Battle of Athens. Although the city is nowhere to be seen as far as I can see. There's a small outskirt village over there, but I can't really see the town anywhere, or the city I should say. Anyways, I've put some men in the flank in the skirmish formation, and then we've got 2 waves of attacks going sort of over the top, because we've got more or less like a ridge here, and the plan is to set up in between these 2 like hills. So we're gonna start off by getting these guys. Oh, you know what? I realized something. The sound level. Huh. There we go. And so these guys are gonna come up, probably not that far though, because we're probably gonna spot the enemy before then. Go up about that far. And so these guys, the first line will run, and the second line will walk to that place. So they arrive at different times, which will be nice, because then they won't shoot each other in the back. The light infantry will advance quickly through there, and these guys, same, quickly move through the forest. And we're already spotting some Greek troops. Let's take a look how the Greeks look. And they're all kind of this brown uniform. All of them, the militia, the light infantry, everyone looks the same. But holy shit, are they putting down quite a lot of fire coming down towards my men advancing here. We're gonna stop before we get to the edge of the forest. We're gonna stop inside of the forest, and then the light infantry will not go as far. They will go about to there before they stop and start to attack. And the artillery is rightly so refocusing to the men that are fighting on the front line rather than aiming for the general. I've spread out the artillery to have them shoot multiple areas. This unit's taking a heavy beating advancing towards this militia unit. And our troops, they're coming really close, especially right here. Third foot guards.
Is soon to be yours.
Interesting thing about the foot guards is only the first 2 ranks fire. But the foot guards will stand until the very last man is dead within their lines. So the light infantry is starting to fire. They're going to murder everything that comes in their path. The 2 units in the forest, though, has lost about 100 men each. And the Greeks seem to be doing this fire in advance stuff that we've seen before, where 1 unit advances, starts shooting, and then the second one moves up. So they're trying to gain ground here, but they are being flanked by the light infantry, and then they've got artillery blasting them. So they don't really have enough power to push through. The thing, however, is here on our flank. Ooh, they're going to go ahead and charge. The Greeks are charging. So Greek foot guards are charging in through my center. So that's kind of nice, actually, that I've managed to... yeah, that I got a second line. So we're going to stop the second line, because the Greek foot guards probably going to be able to stab our men and force them to retreat, as we can see here. Kind of an even fight there, so after that, most likely the Greeks won't be able to continue after that. But there's a bayonet fight going all along the center.
Our men are running for
Oh, so we got more units routing through the center. Let's see. This one's firing. You know what? This one, you will retreat as well. I'll order this side to retreat. We've got militia regiment moving up. Oh, this is one of ours. Where are you going? Go into skirmish formation, set up here, and protect the flank. Most of the Greek soldiers in the center now. You know what? I can see them on the map. They're actually continuing to charge, even though there's like this unit still has only has 12 men left, and then we have another one somewhere along there, where we had 3 guys left. So the foot guards were able to continue. You know what? We're gonna drag these guys back. Come towards this sort of forested area. The guys in the forest, they lost more than half of their force, but they were able to hold and dispel the Greeks. We got more militia units moving up. Interestingly enough, it's just a normal unit that the officer commands, or the leader of this unit commands. Let's see, how's it going over here? They kinda need support, but I can't support the right until the enemy has been broken in the center. You know what? They slowly just march to their death. Get into skirmish formation. Move up on the hill and support this unit, which is taking quite a beating from the 2 militia units that have moved up. Then it's really the angle which is stopping the fire of these guys to really murder the 4th militia unit that's slowly marching up through the high grass and the bushes. We got the 1st rifle regiment moving forwards. And now, since there's so few units left, the artillery is really focusing in on a few units. Kind of surprised that these units still the Greek units here in the front still stand. With this one coming in, I imagine that it's going to be a lot harder for the militia to actually accomplish their mission. And at this point, you know, there's not enough Greek troops on the field of battle to change the outcome of the battle anymore. I mean, if they had more men, and if maybe I wouldn't have gone into ranks or into waves of attack. Holy shit, what happened here in this? I imagine they actually shot each other here. That if I hadn't done that, then we would have had a hole in the middle of the line. But charging isn't really effective compared with being able to lay down fire because of the reload rate and the amount of death you can cause at a lot more rapid pace by shooting down the enemy. Let's see what the Greeks are gonna do. There we go, they're retreating. Still, there's 2 Greek units left. We've got one over here that persists. 136 men. And then we got this one, 124. If we're able to, you know what, keep focusing in on this one. If we kill the officer of this one, the general, there he is. If he gets killed, I'm sure the rest of the army is going to retreat. But it looks like he's about to get away here. He's not gonna be gunned down, and that's actually gonna cause more death on the Greek side. He's actually running into the artillery strike, which is going in there. They're down to 68 men here. We've got 303 and 260. Maybe if we get these guys to come closer. These guys can also come a bit closer to finalize the defeat of the Greeks. And then these two, if they get up closer, maybe they can attack these. These guys are done for. There's only 22 of them. And oh, what do we have now? We have a massive group of light infantry that's been hiding through here. So for some reason they've decided not to move these guys in just yet. We need to get everyone to start moving towards this side. But the artillery is really focusing in, and there's quite a few units, as I can see on the map. There's at least maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe as many as 6 units here. But for some reason they've decided to deploy in the absolutely most thick formation possible, which have led to them shooting each other and also being a perfect target for artillery, being absolutely blasted to pieces. And they should really be able to defeat these 2 normal line infantry units rather quickly, but they're getting absolutely shredded as they continue to fight here. And I think they'll probably be defeated even before the rest of my army reaches the range in which they can go ahead and return fire on these guys. So we can see that they are shooting each other. There's a hidden unit right here, which they're shooting the men out of that unit. So once this battle is done, we'll see a lot of friendly fire on the Greek side here. They persist though, even though there's less than 100 men in most of these units. And we aren't really providing effective fire down upon them. We've got 2 units now moving in, ready to come and attack them. They're gonna move through our units, come into an attack position there. These guys gonna run to there, and these guys gonna go up to there, run. And there we have it, victory. Let's go back to the campaign map. So there we have it. The real interesting thing here for Mad Max and his army is gonna see the amount of, so we kill about 500 men. The enemy, however, killed almost 1,000 men of their own, so they lost 6,733, which is you can't actually see that because they lost everyone. And we didn't actually kill everyone, so you can't really see the disparity there, which is unfortunate. Anyways, all the units survived, which is good. Now I could probably hold it, but I think we'll probably do better being able to make them into a vassal state and start trading with them and stuff like that. So we're gonna go ahead and release them as their own nation again, but under our control. And we need to set up trade. There we go. Trade is enabled. Now we got a Greek general, Prometheus Dimachos, and he's got some assault battalion grenadiers. Looks like he's got a shotgun. So that'll be interesting to see those guys in action. Hopefully it doesn't crash. And then Mad Max will follow the Greek general. Oh, and then we spot a Italian navy. Unlike the other Italian navies, this time this navy won't be able to stand against them. As we can see here, I think I mentioned it, that the Turks were able, with elite guard units, able to retake Istanbul, but I managed to get the Romanians, which are now on my side, to go ahead and lay siege to it. So hopefully they'll be able to take it, and that will create Greater Romania, which will go up from the border here of Transylvania all the way to Constantinople. And then now the Greeks are on our side as well. Hopefully maybe I can get them to attack or join in the war. Maybe can create some navies and stop the Italians. Balkan rebels, there's still, I think they actually retreated into this forest. The main army is hiding behind this hill with Kamensky. We have another army on its way to Budapest. We're still at ceasefire with Germany, but the Austro-Hungarians actually broke their ceasefire treaty, which I set up with them. So we're fighting them. We've got two armies moving in here. The Polish army, lots of Polish units. And we got the cavalry army. We got a other army coming in here. We don't have a name for him, so he needs a name as well. Besides the other two I've already mentioned. Then we've got Dmitry Petrov situated here, and along the line against the Germans we've got Stalin, and we've got another general that needs a name. Put some bunkers here to be able to set up good defensive position. We've got Nikola Yudenich with the Latvian troops, so it's a lot of Latvian troops and some extra cannons. Maybe we can drag on some machine guns or something from these units, or add on a bit to that army to make it a full stack. Probably the new units. No, actually the old ones are probably better. Could possibly have them dragged in. Or the, you know what, the new ones, because I think this I've set up as the sort of garrison of most of the occupied territories. So one more unit and then they're full stack. They can probably take some units out of this. Maybe a bunker machine gun or something. We've got our navy is up here laying raiding the trade of in between Denmark and our enemies, the Austro-Hungarians and the Italians. They're not actually trading with the Italians. Then I managed to get Sweden to join on my side, or I got them to embargo the Austro-Hungarians, and so I was able to set up trade with them, which means that I gain even more trade, because now I can sell my ivory to more people, which is nice. And I think that's the plan, just to create as many small nations as possible, and then let them get trade with them. The only thing we kind of need to worry about is maybe take a look at what they think about each other, because Romania does not like Poland for some reason. They don't like France and they don't like England for some reason. Same with Poland, not really sure. They don't like Sweden and a few other smaller nations. So maybe not create vassal nations that border each other. So Greater Romania and the Greeks might declare war on each other. So there's no real diplomatic option in Napoleon which you can try to stop that. And as I've managed to get a ceasefire with the Germans, I've been able to move through a second trade navy, which is here, with quite a lot of ships. We will be, but I think this time I will actually spread them out a bit, just to, because I'm already making so much from trade, at this point, getting all these ivories out of Africa, then I want to just spread them out, maybe get some other stuff, more sort of ish for maybe kind of role play. Holy shit! Why does the English have so many bloody troops in Gibraltar? I haven't seen them actually send any troops really towards the Germans as of late. I'm trying as much as possible to trade technologies back and forth between the nations, but even though the thing about these is that they always want to have, like, when you trade technologies with your allies or with the other nations, even though you're like super good allies, they always want a massive advantage. They can't be like, yeah, you know what, like I was trying to get trade with Denmark, which they probably would get more from me than I think Italy or whatever else they're trading with. But even if I offer them like a massive sum, like 40,000 and all technologies, because Denmark I think doesn't have that many technologies at all, and even then they're like, do you think we're stupid? Give us 10 technologies and 40,000 gold? Pah! No, that's a stupid deal, especially for something as stupid as trade, which will benefit both parties. And it's not like they're losing anything in the trade. It's just a massive gain from switching trade from Italy to the great empire of Russia. So it's a bit strange that ways. Anyways, looking at the time, we're gonna end it right here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.